assume that that was a god. I get it. It's a pretty fearsome thing. It trembled and shook, and you could see the lava boiling down there. And the chief had gone up to make a sacrifice to the volcano. And while he was gone, we were able to preach to his village, which was good because he had resisted any sort of anybody doing outreach in his community. He wouldn't let, there was one lone evangelist that was working in the region, and that chief had always resisted anyone coming to share the good news. While he was gone, his wife allowed us to come up. She got gloriously healed of an issue of blood that she'd had for many years. And when that happened, the chief came back and saw that his wife had been healed. And then he came down to visit the outreach base there and said, "What happened to my wife?" And we were able to explain, Yeshua healed your wife. When he realized that the power of God was more powerful than his worship of the volcano, when he realized Yeshua, Jesus, is more powerful, he put his faith in Jesus, and the whole tribe put their faith in Yeshua. Evangelists told him, well, the next thing you need to do is be immersed in the ocean, but you need to get rid of all this witch doctor stuff you've got. You've got to get rid of anything that's tied to any other god than the God of the Bible. So they had an all-night service with a worship team and a bonfire, and they burned all their fetishes, all this witch doctor stuff that they used to hear the voices of their ancestors. It wasn't the voices of their ancestors they were hearing, it was the spirits world. But they burned all of it, and shrieks, and people manifesting, and got delivered and free. And then the next day, after an all-night worship service, they went down to the ocean, and the whole village was immersed one by one in the ocean. They said after that happened, it completely changed the environment of that whole area. They said at night, we used to be afraid to go out in the jungle because of the spirits that were there. The land was defiled, but when revival came, the land was healed. Their crops grew better. Hallelujah. Darkness had come off from that region. They no longer were in fear. They no longer worried to go out at night in the jungle because the presence of God was so permeated there. That's what happens. Now that was more an evangelistic because those people didn't know God at all. That was a new thing. But revival came, and it even revived the hearts of the evangelist and his family that were there. Evangelist had an amazing miracle. His daughter was around 2.5, and she hadn't made any, she couldn't talk. And really made very few vocal sounds. Something seemed to be tied in her tongue. We prayed over her daughter, and she immediately began speaking. Absolutely amazing. Apparently she had all those words back there somewhere, but couldn't get them out.